Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Richard Reviews Children's Books. I am Richard. The air conditioning is annoyingly loud, and I have today for you The Loch Ness Monster by Jacqueline Gorman. It's covered on the cover. That's ironic, isn't it? So this is a book about the Loch Ness Monster. There's not a lot to say. This is a children's book. It's very well made, nice sturdy cover, and it talks to you about the search for the legendary Loch Ness Monster, which it does not say if it's real or not, but it does leave a few things in here that I personally did not know. Like, for example, I did not know that there were radar images of something large moving fast at the bottom of the lake. So that's something that I did not know about this particular supernatural beastie. Now, personally, if there's anything that's very popular in the cryptozoological world that is not true, it's probably the Loch Ness Monster. There's not a lot of evidence for it, in my opinion, but this is not about my opinion on the Loch Ness Monster. This is about my opinion on this book, and I do have a major problem with this book. And that's that they talk about a lot of pictures in this book that they don't show you. And I know this is the age of the internet, and I can go and I can get those pictures really easily. And they're saying, oh yeah, these guys had a picture they said was the face of the Loch Ness Monster. And I'm going, yeah, but couldn't you sketch it or something for me? It may be a copyright issue, but I would really like to have that image. And when I first read this book, I was somewhere where I did not actually have access to the internet. My phone service was not working. I did not have a computer on me at the time, so I couldn't look it up. And I'm sure I've seen those pictures. They're not all that interesting to me. They're more just bubbles or whatever have you. But really, when you look at this, you're like, yeah, okay. If I didn't know much about the Loch Ness Monster, this would be a great book. It says a lot of things I do know about the Loch Ness Monster, and it says a lot of things which would encourage me to future reading. So here is that thing. If your child wants to know about the Loch Ness Monster, they might pick up this book and then learn how to use Google a little better by looking up the things that are in this book, because there is not a lot going on here. And again, this book is a textbook. It is designed not to entertain you, but to inform you. That's not a bad thing in a book. It's a perfectly fine way to relay information. And this is a very quick read. I think it's maybe 10 minutes. So if your child wants to read about this, this is not a bad resource for them. However, I have to say, because it's not terribly entertaining, it's not something that they're going to read over and over again, despite the fact that it is definitely built like something a child would read over and over again. So, I mean, take it as it is. Again, this is a great book to check out from the library. Only you could decide if you would want to own it, and personally, I would not buy this for my child. I would definitely want to read to them and show it to them. See if maybe they enjoy this before bedtime, because it could put them to sleep. It's a very dry subject, but not really a buy for me. Just, bear that in mind. I mean, some books are not for everybody. This is one of those books that is definitely not for everybody. This is not to say it's a bad book. It's just take into account certain people are going to read this book, and it's a smaller percentage of the population. Anyway, that's my opinion. I'd love to hear yours down in the comments below. I am Richard Leland Neal.